What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV. I'm back again this afternoon. It's Transfer Shore, and I've got two lads that's going to help us along the way. I've got Pete, and I've also got Jamie as well. Big up to you guys.
How you doing, John? You all right?
Absolutely fantastic. And how's Jamie?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Not too bad. Guys, thank you very much for asking there. And just before we go on, if guys like to feel like what you watch, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe button as well. Super chats are open as well if you'd like to donate. And also, if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p as well. We are going to keep saying that because for those who are new to the channel as well, I've got Eddie's Football Raffle. Hi to you, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you very much indeed for that. I hope you enjoyed the Euros tonight. Estella Garza, big up to Mason. I hope you're well. If it's Italian, I would say buonasera, come stai, and bella giornata la Bristol. And that's lovely in Bristol. And big up to Andrew DB. Hope you're good as well, mate. And yeah, just before we go on, we are not in the IT gear, right? All it is, right? We just discuss some players that I'm linked with Newcastle United. We discuss about them, where they fit in, and we're going to talk about them from strengths and weakness as well. We're not going to say on here, he's going to come to us, he's going to be signing, etc. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. We don't make fake news as well. We talk about it, you could tweet about it, but some of the fan base of late, especially our fan base, having to go at each other making up crap. And I tell you what, it is what it is. And we just discussed, that's what we did the transfer show. And I've seen people as well saying that we shouldn't be doing trans things like that because it just leads to lies. No, we're not. They do transfer shows all over the world, or podcasts as well. So I'll just get that right away. Big up to Johnny Moses. I hope you're well, Johnny. If you can, Johnny, if you subscribe to my podcast, that'd be amazing. Easy to come on YouTube and go from there. But thank you very much for asking. And I'm like it at Christmas now. How are we in England? Yes, massive again. And Mason saying it's Spanish there. Here's the thing. Thank you for that, Mason. Right, let's go on to the first target. Start with you, Pete. As Malik Fior for AC Milan. He's got a market value of 30 million quid, but I think Milan probably between 35 and 40 million is going to deal. He's a German international, 6'4", and he's joined them for Schalke 2 seasons ago. This guy is being linked with Newcastle, and there's a couple of rumours saying that the deal might already be done. I believe it when I see it, but this guy, I watch Italian football. This guy is a really good young defender, and he is destined for the greatness. And Pete, tell about him, man.
Yeah, really, really good defender, as you've mentioned. Right centre back is a place we need to look at as well, and particularly Fabian Schär in his 30s now, not getting any younger. Same with Jamal Lascelles. We could do with that right-sided centre back to get a new player in. Through the door as well, and I think it would be a great buy if we were to get him in. We know there's talks that people say it's close. We'll just wait and see. Take it with a pinch of salt. Let's see what Sky and reliable media sources come out with. But I think it'd be a great fit as well, and it'd be a great partnership alongside Botman when Botman does come back, if we were to get this lad through the door. So I can understand why there's a lot of rumours going around. We're being linked with him as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd be a perfect fit for us. Absolutely, I would have him.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, Malik, I think for me, I know people say that he has made a couple of mistakes. I get that, but he's quite raw. I mean, he can play in the back three, but can he play in the back two? That's the question number one. He could also play defensive midfield. He could also play right back as well. Yeah. And I think this guy is you could get him for three positions for the price of one.
Absolutely. I think the deal works for both sides. AC Milan have 6 current centre-backs, so you'd like to think they wouldn't need all 6, so maybe they could sell. And Malik could be the right person. And also, Newcastle have 4 centre-backs, don't they? And they've got Botman, who's had his injury problems, but he's been a solid centre-back overall. Fabian Schär, as Pete mentioned, that he is in his 30s. Lascelles, again, injury problems, not reliable, but also do Newcastle need him when you're going to be challenging for Champions League positions in Europe for next season? I don't think he's going to be needed. But I like him. However, he is often injured. He's a bit of an injury-prone player, and he missed 16 games last season due to injury and suspension. So do you want that in your team? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, you are right, John, that he can play in several positions, and £30 million probably would be a bargain for someone like him.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to understand why Milan want to sell him, because already try and get a lad from Red Star. Well, sold Patovic, I think, if I'm announcing his name right. I mean, he could be on his way to the San Siro, making room for Malik to be moved on to us if the deal goes through as well. And he played last season in the Milan team that finished second, and finished second twice, by the way. I mean, Milan rate him very highly. Pioli likes him and tried to play him at a back three. So what I like about this guy, he's got pace, he can move the ball, and he's quick, physically strong, and I think this guy is exactly what we need. I mean, look, we need to upgrade our centre backs as well. For one, I mean, Pete Fabian Schall's not going to last another season. Maybe he might be going back to Switzerland next season, maybe. So we don't know that. Jamal Lascelles' time at Newcastle, in my opinion, is done. I'm not going to lie. I know he's our captain, but he's not going to improve us. But for me, we need to freshen up at the back.
Well, that's it, because you don't want to keep the same defenders, because there will be a time when it will get found out and the age will start really catching up on them at some point. So it's sensible to strengthen that position. It really, really does. And again, if we do get him in, 22 years of age as well. Very, very young for a centre-back as well. 30 million, bargain in these windows these days as well. What Jimmy just said. It's a position we do need to sort out. Because there will be a time where some players' legs will not take it. Even though Fabian Schär's been a great assistant, servant for... He's been brilliant for us lately. But, he's 32, 33 in December. So that is knocking on. I believe this will be Fabian Schär's last season. Same with Jamal Lascelles as well. I think this will be both of them last season with us. So to get that extra centre back in and this window it's a no-brainer.
100%. I mean, look, we love Fabian Schär. I mean, he's been in the club since 2017. And I tell you what, this guy just gets better and better with age. And I really think Schär, whoever gets him next season, has got an absolute bargain. I think he'll probably end up moving to Switzerland to his first club, or he may end up having 1 or 2 seasons in the Bundesliga, and I think it'd be perfect there. But we got Fabian, and we'll see on that one. If we look at this his style of play, I mean, he is quick, his aerial fit has been fantastic, his ball recovery is excellent. You look at it, Jamie, right? I mean, his legs are rangy and long, and his wingspan is very, very impressive. And all of his contributes to the Germans overwhelming present. 6'4", he has got one hell of a essence. And not only that, last season, he boasted aerial success rate at 72%. And that placed him in the top 2% of centre-backs across Europe back then. So this guy, for 30 million quid or up to 35, I think we've got a bargain if we do buy him.
Well, last season, wasn't it the most goals conceded from set pieces, right? And you see with Sven Botman and you see with Malik that you see two really tall players, aggressive players in the air, and players that arguably will concede less corners for your team, right? And we're seeing football always changing, and set pieces last season was a main focus for a lot of teams. However, with your 4 centre-backs that you've got in the club, they're not good enough. They need to go. And you've got Sven Botman who can build on that along with Malik. And I think that can be a really good partnership. But obviously you need centre-backs with good aerial ability, which he's got. You need good strength, which he's got. And an added bonus, he's fast as well. So that is an all-rounded, very good centre-back. And if he goes to the right club, Newcastle or wherever he may end up, even if he stays in Italy, I think he is going to be a really good centre-back when he reaches his 28, 29 years, because 22 is very young for a centre-back to be playing for second-place sides in the top divisions in the world.
Absolute fact. We've got some more comments coming through. Big up to Peter. Hope you're well, mate. We're also being linked with Antonio Silva, the Monday for me. I'll just be clear. I've seen a report about Antonio Silva being linked with him, right? Someone said 40 million quid. Let me just be clear. This guy has got a buyout clause between 80 and 100 million pounds, according to Benfica, right? So I don't think we'll be paying that much for him anytime soon. I can tell you that right away. Absolutely right away. Rodriguez, I'll comment to you in a bit. Big up to you, Mick. Hope you're well. I got your tweet message this morning. and I'm trying to learn Japanese. I definitely probably will, but I just learned the basics. Big up to Rodriguez as well. Rod, if you come into the YouTube channel and stick a like on, that'd be fantastic. Kevin Danso, I tell you what, that guy's an absolute beast. Austrian international. He is really, 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 really good. And we probably talk about it another time. But you have to understand, Pete, why do Milan want to get rid of Malik? Malik Fior? I don't understand that. I think he'd be perfect for Serie A. He could have stayed for another couple more seasons and then move on. But you know what? If you're linked to him, I tell you something now. I think this guy, he is absolutely awesome. I'm having a problem with him coming in. I'll watch Serie A. This guy gets better and better. If you look at the style of play Milan they play under Stefano Pioli, it was 3 at the back. Yeah. Can he do the 2 at the back? He can't. I think he can, but most of the play 3 at the back 3. When you got over to there, Tori and who's that French lad again? I'll come on to in a bit. And Pierre Kalulu, that's the name. Pierre Kalulu. Haven't woken up. I should know that. But I know he said Theo Fernandez then, but no, it's not. He plays left wing back. But Pete, I mean, he plays in the centre, 3 at the back. Can he do a 2 at the back?
Who says he can't? I'm just looking at his strength and weaknesses. He's got strengths of long balls.
Yeah.
He's got no outstanding weaknesses, actually, as well. So that sounds very positive. It really, really does. Plus, who says Milan they said they're open to do business with us because apparently we have some close connection with old Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
A deal that we know what unfortunately happened. But yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit. I think he'd do very well for us, and I would love to see this guy in. Really, really would. And we do need, as I mentioned, we do need the right side centre back sorted as well.
100%. I got a message from Clover as well. Big up to Clover for Australia, by the way. You're going to have a fantastic time. Can't wait to see your vlogs. Oh, by the way, your health kick has you been looking good, John. Well done, mate. Thank you so much, Steve, for that one, Clover. Make sure you don't be a stranger. If you want to come back on my channel, let me know. I'll get you on. And I'm like 15 stone now, and I don't think you'll get any less than that, unfortunately. But I am trying. But yeah, getting there, and I'm enjoying. Just been to the gym with a PT. Thanks for your support there. I appreciate that. If you are watching Clover, and we're going to talk about Johnny D in a minute, Alan. So don't hold that thought. We're going to talk about him next. And big up to Jonathan. I hope you're well, and Jonathan and Kate. Hope you're good. I hope you're having a fantastic time, you two, and look forward to today's game. And would you take in Jamie? Would you take Malik for Newcastle United? I would.
Absolutely. And I think you have to weigh up all pros and cons. He's going to be cheap. He's reliable enough in terms of injuries, maybe not so much. But when he's playing, he's usually done quite a good job. As Pete said, there's no outstanding weaknesses. It's usually quite positive stuff. We saw with Mickey van der Ven, he's come from a very similar division in Germany, very similar tactics, very similar pace of the game. And he's been a standout centre-back this season. He's been really fast, and that's been the highlight of his attributes. And I think Malik Tor could be again, a really top player for Newcastle if he was to sign. Is he better than Sven Botman? Probably not, but he could work well alongside him. You have a slower version of Botman, and you've got a faster version of Malik Tor. But yes, I do think I'd have him at Newcastle, definitely.
100%. I mean, look, he's definitely cheap as well. I don't understand why Milan was selling that cheap, but maybe financial problems. I mean, they're not in debt. They got a lot of money. They got rich owners at the club as well, and Americans as well. So they got Petrovic as well from Red Star Salzburg, I believe, or they're going to get him according to Fabrizio Romano. And if he's going to be a direct replacement, then that should be easy for us to get him in. So, guys, tell us your thoughts in the chat. Right? Would you take Tor? 100%, definitely. So let's go on to the next comment. I said about Alan, talked about Jonathan David, and actually now we're here. We are going to talk about Johnny D as well. I mean, he's Canadian international, plays club football for Lille, and he's been there since 2020, 4 seasons now, 146 appearances, 71 goals. Yeah, he plays in Ligue 1, week lead. Listen, he still scores goals, yeah? It may not be the best league, but he still scores goals. Pete, we've been linked to this guy for quite a long time. He plays right on the left, I believe. Yep. He can play up front. He can also play right on the right. But Jonathan David, I mean, we linked him for a long time. I think this guy could rip up the Premier League with his pace and power.
Could well do. Plus, we need another striker, John. If Wilson stays or he goes, if you can guarantee if Wilson's going to stay, you can guarantee Wilson will pick up an injury at some point because we know how Glass, unfortunately, is made now. That's why we need that striker in. Otherwise, it'll only be Isak as well, and we don't want the pair of them injured because at times we had to have some games without both of them, and that's what we don't want, particularly going into games with a no recognised striker at all. So to get someone like him would be decent, yes. The only thing is you not get ahead of Isak. That's the problem. Considering how much we've paid for Isak and how many goals Isak buried last season, over 20 goals in the Premier League and all competitions as well. But the new striker we really, really need massively because you can guarantee there's going to be injuries next season. You can just feel it, unfortunately. And well, and I've just said everything about Wilson now, how unfortunately he can't stay fit anymore. And Wilson, 32 years of age, turns 33, beginning of quite early next year as well. So that's why, again, it makes sense to go and get another striker in, whether Wilson stays or he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what it is, right, he can also play as a 10, he can play up front as well. This guy, I mean, we've been after him for quite a while, and he's 24 years of age, right? He's still young. And you know what it is, Jamie, right? What I like about this guy, right? He's got pace and skill, speed as well. Not only that, right? He can read the game, he can track back, and also he can read the game as well. And he can also press the opponents as well. And I'll tell you what, Jamie, one thing I will say, right? I mean, I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. I could be wrong, but if that's the case, we should be all over this guy.
He's always been linked with the move to the Premier League. I think people have to understand that. For the last 3 or 4 years, he's always been linked to Manchester United more predominantly, and now it's PSG as well. And he's more likely to be going to Saudi Arabia than Newcastle in terms of probability. But I think out of the signings that we'll talk about today, he's probably not the most important player that you need to go for. Purely because if you sell Callum Wilson, you get Jonathan David in, right? You don't need to pick him over anyone else. There's more players in the team. There's more options in the team that you can go for, regardless in terms of going for him. If you go for Somerville, Tor, and Rafinha, those positions need to be filled more than strikers. Of course, if Wilson goes, like Pete said, he is injury prone. He is likely to be some sort of not available, should we say. But yeah, I like him. I think he's a good player. He scored 21 out of 26 penalties. I mean, no penalties are again becoming more frequent with VAR checks and things like that, always becoming into the game now, which is quite annoying for the team on the receiving end of the penalty. But yeah, he's usually fit. He's only missed one game, and I would take him at Newcastle United for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Big up to Adrian Pitcher. Hi to Aiden. I hope you're well. I think towards a class, I think he's what Botman would need in a partner. He's got the pace Sven doesn't have. He's only 20, he's 23, I think now. I think he's 22, 23. Who knows where Eddie could take him? You know what? This Aiden, all right, that's a very good point. I mean, you got Botman who's slow and he reads the game, great tackler, and then Teo just goes out and does this thing and brings the ball out as well, which is great, and the pace and aerial as well. So I do like them both. If they do partner at the back, both young defenders, I think they go a long, long way. And that is not a bad comment. Thank you for that, Aiden. Big up to Pete as well. We have been linked with loads of players. It wouldn't surprise me if you signed someone not even linked, like Paul Mitchell coming in. No Aiken, then boom, it's announced. Do you know what it is, Pete? They do the business very, very quietly now with Newcastle United. Okay?
Well,
who would have thought Paul would have come in?
Absolutely, we did. And I believe that's where the right wing position is going to come out of the blue, like it did with Isak when we got him. This one, I think, is going to come out of the blue. Might not be Somerville, who could, even though we could still get him, but I think this is going to be a big, huge marquee sign on that right-hand side.
We need one.
But yeah, Somerville is a good, decent player. He really, really is.
Talk about him in a minute.
So, yeah, but right wing is definitely probably the biggest because we can't have season playing Murphy every season. And we've said what we said about Almiron now, unfortunately. He's his times now is it this club should be is done and he should be moving on now, unfortunately.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, it should be a new era at St. James's Park here. And and we need someone's going to come. We need someone different. We need someone's going to come in and make a huge difference on the right hand side. We're desperate to get someone on the right hand side, Jamie, because that's what we're looking for. I don't want to go in the new season with Miggy on starting the new season. I know people out there saying, Miggy did a job. Miggy's good. He can turn on the stick. You know what it is, right? We've seen enough of Miggy. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to criticise the lad. But for me, we need to move on from this guy.
Well, ever since the new owners came in, there's been always talk about these big marquee signings that the club can make. Are they going to sign Mbappe, Ronaldo? These unrealistic signings, but you would have expected by now to get rid of the deadwood players, and Lascelles will come under that bracket, and so would Amaron, unfortunately, for those two. They were good enough for the time that you were at, but unfortunately, it's time for them to leave, and you can't hold on to these club legends because they are for that long. Somerville is a brilliant signing, right? What player in this modern day can you get for 20 to 30 million pounds, even if it was 40 million pounds? He's a bargain of a player. He's young. I was happy enough to go and watch him against Tottenham. He scored a great goal early on, and I was like, wow, this player's got something. And he was young back then. He's still young now. He could play anywhere across the front line apart from striker. So left wing, right wing. We know Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon have had their problems with injuries in recent times. He's only missed 3 league games, and he was really crucial last season with 31 contributions in 43 games for Leeds United in the Championship last season. And on top of my notes, the first word I've got is talented. That's all he is. He's just a talented player.
He is indeed. He is indeed. Absolutely spot on the money. And let's go and get him. Big up to Davey. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're having a good day and enjoy the Euros tonight. That Johnny D looks rubbish when I watched him for Lille and Canada. Or He's playing in the Copa America. I mean, look, we don't watch Ligue 1. I'm not going to lie. We don't watch Ligue 1, Pete, don't we? Yeah.
No, we don't really, do we?
We don't. But this guy, for what we see in him, play for Lille in cup competitions, I think he's been really good. That he can be inconsistent, I can't lie, but maybe a new league could absolutely bang up, because if you go in the Ligue 1, it's more tactical. If you go to the Premier League, it's all things good. You got to express yourself. If he expresses himself, we could see a different Johnny D.
Could well do. Who says Eddie Howe couldn't get the best out of him like he's done with certain players? Botman, look how brilliant he was in his first season. Came from Lille as well. Yeah. You never know what could just happen when it comes to new signings.
Exactly.
When they come through the door.
Exactly. Big up to Lawrence, by the way. Hope you well, mate. I hope you have a good afternoon. Hi to my favourite mod, Mama Flossie. Hope she's well. Jamie, she's my mod. She's absolutely fantastic, and she does mods as well. Yeti, also history on more Jess's channel as well. She's the community of the Instagram as well, and I'm part of it as well. Drew Gunner's another mod as well. He comes every now and again. He's a great guy as well. Hope you're well if he's watching as well. Big up to Alan again, and everyone else. And according to Smash It in the Tune 5-0 for bits of Romanos, they're done still. Medical income in days for 30 million quid. That
keep an eye out, because Fabrizio Romano's quite a reliable person.
He is. I mean, don't forget Fabrizio and Alice. Big up to Alice Talks Football, Alice Abrams. Big up to her, big United fan. I tell you what, she's one of the best YouTubers out there. So
just wait for those 3 words. Here we go.
Here we go. Exactly. I tried to get Sabrina as well. Big up to Sabrina Belmonte as well. She's on holiday in Italy. I'll be there in a couple months' time.
Sorry, my camera's gone there, John.
I'm
just gonna come back out and come back in, John.
No problem. Go for it. Pete thinks it's half time.
It's not time to go just yet, Pete.
Exactly. We only played 26 minutes, and he's
yes.
We'll let him off. We see what he's got to do, but that is, we do check on that one soon. Big up to JK, my guy. Hope you're well. JK from Scotland, and big up to you. I hope you're well, and I hope you're staying stronger, as you always do. Yeah. So there he is. Peter's back again. Big up to Pete as well, and yeah. So according to you know what it is, like these ITKs in the know, right? We're not going to mention names on there, of course not. But these people on there making up as well. There's a guy, Magpie Media, Brendan, lovely lad, right? And he gets a lot of stick. From Newcastle fans. So I think it's so wrong. I mean, I don't mind him, but it's some of the other people just love to make it up as well. I mean, it's just crazy, man. I mean, again, crazy. But, never mind. Yeah, so like I said, we've got to, Jeremy. We don't watch League One, don't we? On on players coming through, and we got to trust the agents as well with Jonathan David. I think he needs this move. If he does need a move, I think it'll be really good signing, and we got to give him a chance, man.
Well, I mean, people say, like you mimicked there, that he plays in Ligue 1. I mean, let's be serious. Lille aren't the best team in France, right? You've got PSG ahead of them. You've got Olympique Lyonnais on paper. They haven't had a good few seasons, I know. Marseille will be coming up next season. What I'm trying to say is Lille aren't the best team there. They're a good team, but they're not the best. So for Jonathan David to then move to a Newcastle team who got into the Champions League last season, he's been playing pretty well, pretty good football under Eddie Howe. For him to move here with better players, of course it's a harder division, but he's got better players around him, a top-class manager, be better than the manager that they've won in France. So yes, I would think that there shouldn't really be a problem in terms of adjustment. He's fast. There's nothing that would currently stick out to me that I'd suggest that maybe it'll take a bit of time to getting used to into the division. Look at Isaac. Top player now, isn't he? And he didn't need any time to adjust from Spain. So, yeah, I think Jonathan David's a really good signing. I think it's a no-brainer, especially if you get him for under £50 million. Any more than that, you might want to look towards Somerville, who can play across the front line. I think Jonathan David should be a top signing for you in the summer, of course, if Wilson or Isaac was to go.
Yeah, very, 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 very true. And you, Pete, as well. I mean, John Fade, would you take Johnny D?
Yeah, no, I'd definitely give him a chance. Absolutely. It's like any signing, you want to give them a chance. If there's been some decent facts read up on the player, had to play, you just want to give a chance.
Yeah,
absolutely, John. I know we didn't want to give players like DCL a chance if he did come, but we know the guy's not good enough. We've just seen it, or we've just seen it just by watching the player.
Yeah, fact, absolute fact. John. Good. Thanks, John. Hope you well too. We're moving to Newcastle in August. I'm feeling good. Hope you well too. I am indeed, my guy. And Jake, I hope you're feeling better. And I hope everything goes well for you as well. Exactly where we're at, mate. Just let us know on the DMs on social media. I'm on platforms on X. I'm on Insta, Facebook. Just give us a shout as well. Mark the big Celtic fan. Hope you're well, mate. And let's hope Celtic win the league again next season. Is it, Mark? Just a question. Are we in the Champions League? If we're not, are we in the second round or the third round starting? Let me know, and then go from there. And that would be fantastic. And let's go on to the number one. We're going to go on to, everyone knows who this guy is by now, Somerville. He's got a market value between 30 and 40 million quid. Played for Leeds in the Championship, 22 years old, and couldn't get Leeds out of the Championship, which he's been their star player yet again. 23 goals in 77 appearances for Leeds United. And this guy, we know what he's all about, Jamie. This guy is absolutely brilliant.
It seems to me every year, a bit off topic though, it seems to me every year that the seasons are moving forward and closer. So they're always close together, less of a break in the summer. But that means pre-season's obviously started now for the majority of clubs. However, I think Somerville, there's still a chance that he could go. I mean, I really would think that there's two arguments here. I think Somerville should go because Leeds aren't good enough for him anymore. He's better than Leeds. He can go and leave, or he can stay with Leeds and get them promoted next season. If they don't get promoted, then he will go. However, Leeds United just sold Archie Gray to Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of money was involved in that deal. A deal that could get Leeds a good few players, I'd say, from Germany, second tier, first tier. They can get a few good players out the Archie Gray move. If they sold Somerville in the same window, I think that's a huge dig at the club. I think that's something that's really major. Something serious has gone on behind the scenes because they can't really replace those players in the same window. They haven't got the better players coming through the ranks currently. As I said, 31 contributions in 43 games for a player that will cost you 30 to 40 million pounds. An absolute bargain. He's young. He's going to be called up to the Dutch team in a matter of time. He's played for under 21s. He's played in the Premier League. He played a lot of minutes in the Premier League. Is it Bielsa, who now is a Uruguay job? He's a good player, play all across the front line. And yes, obviously, you'd want to buy him now because Leeds are in the Championship. They're currently standing at 40 million pounds for him. If they went up to the Premier League, they might push that up to 60 or 70. So I'd say buy before it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been linked with a lot of clubs, like Liverpool's been linked to him as well, and a couple other clubs as well abroad. But I think, Pete, I mean, look, I think he also stay in England and in the Premier League. Leeds knows they have to sell because of the failure to get promoted, number one, and secondly, as well, right? That they got to reduce the cost as well. They got to reduce the get that money back as well after that
Yeah.
failure. If they don't, there could be a massive trouble for FFP.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And again, we need to strengthen the right wing position as well. I mean, I believe I think there'll be a number of clubs will be interested in Somerville because of how talented he is and what he and his style of play as well, which is really, really good. Very young lad as well, and it'd be interesting to see. But I expect him to be leaving Leeds in this current window, because if Leeds fail to get promoted, they've probably lost quite a lot of money as well. And FFP's in the Championship as well, unfortunately, as much as we don't like to say about the word, because, well, that and PSR, but PSR mostly is what's killing football now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Leeds don't want to risk getting any charges, unfortunately. And because I think Leeds' priority next season will be promoted back to they'll want to get back into the Premier League after just missing out on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We come with someone in a bit. I got one for JK. I see Tour and Antonio Silva are cool between players in the window. Would love to see Leao from AC Milan come too, but wishful thinking. John, for JK, you just said it yourself, my guy. Wishful thinking. But for a start, Antonio Silva's got a release clause between 80 and 100 million quid for a young defender. I think he'll stay at Benfica for one more season. But Benfica will sell. They're a selling club, but it has to be for the right money. They will not come to you. When you think about it, Jamie, Enzo Hernandez cost 105 mil to go to Chelsea. That's number one. Secondly, you got Darwin Núñez, cost 85 mil. This guy will not go cheap. I could tell you that for now. I heard one people, this is why no one don't know, 40 to 50 million quid. And I just laughed.
Yes, absolutely. And although I love Darwin Núñez with all my heart, and I think he can become a top player in the end of the next few years, I think this player, though, can be better than Darwin Núñez. I think we've seen it in France. He's proven in France that he can be a really good threat up front. Obviously, he's played against Mbappe's PSG. He's scored goals against Donnarumma. He scored goals against the best centre-backs, best midfielders, best everything. He's played in the Champions League. He's played in all sorts of competitions that would have decent enough players in it to match him up against Premier League standard. He's good enough, definitely better than Darwin Núñez if you want to match him up to him. And £50 million would be a bargain.
Yeah. Darwin, the Bruiser Núñez. Did you see what he did? Thing is, though, I could understand why he did that to protect his family, which is fair enough, yeah. And he's got every right to do that. And I've got 56 people watching. Thank you very much indeed on both channels, or all channels, between me, Pete, and yourself, Jimmy. You got none in a minute, and I've got 220 people watching live on X. So please do slash the likes if you are new, and make sure you subscribe to my podcast as well. And I see Tour and Tour Silva read that. Newcastle and Leeds are both at the Adidas complex this week. Maybe something's going on.
Yep.
You never know.
Yes, we do. We're out there on Monday, I believe.
Yeah. There's a closed door game against Burnley, I believe, as well. From what
there is, yeah.
We need to sell Callum. He is too much injury prone for me. David, you're absolutely right.
He is. He's not going to stay fit again. Where if he stays with us or he goes to another club, you just know he's going to pick up an injury, unfortunately. The last injury he had was a bit unfortunate because it was a pectoral injury. But how many games does he come back? He picks up another injury. He's out again. Go
on, Pete. Come on.
At least there was a few times we saw that last season, unfortunately. And that's the problem. The injuries are really catching up with him now, unfortunately.
I agree, Pete. I agree. I mean, we've got to move these players on now because it's just, for me, I just don't think. I mean, this is the trouble of this club, right? I mean, we just carry on for hangers on. Do you know what I mean? They're on big contracts, right? We get that. They're on about £100,000 a week. You got players like Target, 100k a week. Callum Wilson about the same as well. Yeah, you got Miggy's on 50k a week, and you got Ryan Fiercer probably about 40 to 50k a week. The thing is, though, Joey, they don't want to move. They do not want to move to another club because of the money. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. They're professional footballers, right? Professional footballers, right? Don't sit on the bench, pick up the money. Go out and play your flipping football, man.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more, and I never understand. I never understand why players the majority of them work so hard to get to where they are. They get to where they are, and they're like, actually, the money's better than playing. So if I can sit on the bench and do nothing, I'd rather just get free money, essentially. They're providing no benefit to the team. Ryan Fraser's old. He wasn't, I don't know why they signed him in the first place when they brought him along with Eddie Howe and Callum Wilson. Really odd signing. Hasn't played too many games. But yes, money talks for quite a lot of people, it seems. And obviously, those players like Ryan Fraser, Target, who really shouldn't be at a club like Newcastle, who want to achieve bigger things than what they can achieve, to get 100k, 50k for these players to pay them per week is just insane. I don't get how, I don't get why. Who offered Ryan Fraser 75, 50k a week? I don't know. Who would do that? Not me, certainly not.
I mean, the getting Ryan Fraser, that's on the last down to the last owner, unfortunately. That is the thing. I mean, Pete, you got to go with what Jamie's saying. I've got to kind of agree with Jamie there because it is absolutely ridiculous. He's got to be blamed for this.
We've still got too many players who we need off who are on ridiculous wages. And again, who does it come down to? Our previous ownership handed out silly contracts and silly wages. And we can't get rid of them because they're probably sitting there thinking, no, I'd rather just sit and pick up my money I'm in every week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is the season we need to clamp down massively.
That, and I hope Paul Mitchell sorts this out.
Paul Mitchell, he's on board now. He's going to have majority of those signings, seeing on those signings now.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie Howe, we love him, but he's the head coach. I don't think he's got a say now. Paul just come in, excuse me, and he is going to call the shots big time. Do you think Malik Tour will start over Fabian straight away if he came? I don't
slowly worked in. I would probably see him alone because, Botman didn't play, he's coming in straight away.
That's the thing.
In the first game of the season.
Yeah. And where does that put Dan Burn, Jim? Where does that put Dan Burn?
Not of the team. In the reserves, never to be seen again. No, I think he should be a coach or he should move away from football. It seems.
I'll be a squad player next season, Burn.
Yes, yeah. I think because he's good enough to play two positions. He plays left back and he can play centre back. And he's not a bad player to have. I'd say he's probably better than
left back's not his position anymore for me.
Really?
Definitely not. Not for me. At the back, yes, and it's been proved the last few games. When it comes to left back, he gets skinned time and time again. Look at the game against Luton. He was woeful. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we just going to speak the
Forest,
truth.
both games.
Yeah, Forest, yeah. Too many to mention. So we definitely need another centre back.